the most scrutinized coordinator in college football just got hired. What is up, everybody? It is Jake with Master Football, back at it again. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to be up to date on all things football, college football, pro football, Madden, EA college football, anything related to American football, hit the red subscribe button. You will not be disappointed. Also hit the like button too. Like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys, here we are on a Friday, and I'm putting this out one a little bit later tonight. Like I usually go in the morning, but I wanted to post this one just because it just came across the wire right now. The most scrutinized coordinator in college football just got hired. It's your boy, Tommy Rees. Here we are with ESPN.com. Notre Dame's Tommy Rees accepts Alabama OC job from Pete Thamel, and this was just about 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time today. Notre Dame offensive coordinator Tommy Rees has accepted the job to become Alabama's offensive coordinator, sources told ESPN. The former star quarterback for the Irish took the job officially on Friday, sources told ESPN, and he has informed Notre Dame officials of his decision. Ultimately, Rees, the opportunity to work for Nick Saban proved to be a deciding factor. And it mentions a couple things here. First of all, he's real young. And again, I'm going to make sure I'm going to get into a couple things here. We're going to talk about kind of where he's from, because I'm letting you know right now, there's something about Southerners right now where they like people from the South to be, he's got to understand how to be around here. Tommy Rees is not from the South in any way, shape, or form. So it's very interesting to see that perspective there. Also, we're going to go over what he has to kind of work with and then what he might do with the offense. It's really interesting to see that. Rees is 30 and is one of the bright young minds rising in the sport. He spent the past 3 years as offensive coordinator after joining the program as a quarterback coach in 2017. Rees will replace Bill O'Brien, who left the New England Patriots, and will be the sixth different offensive coordinator to go to Alabama in the past 8 years. Yeah, that's one of those situations where you're like, oh, 6 in the last 8 years, what is going on over there? First of all, and I think I heard Colin Cowherd describe Alabama this way, whereas Clemson was kind of like a family. We come together, we do all these things together. Alabama is a factory. You know why you come to Alabama? We're here to work, okay? The university spends more on sports than they do on education. They are about ball. Even if you go there, even if there's people in and out, they're all going to be good at their jobs. Tommy Rees is one of them too. Rees went 31-8 as a play caller at Notre Dame, including a trip to the CFP in 2020 and a Fiesta Bowl appearance after the 2021 season. Rees was well thought of enough by former Notre Dame coach Brian Kelly that Kelly made a lucrative offer for Rees to join him at LSU, but he stayed and worked for Marcus Freeman during his first year in South Bend. In 2021, Notre Dame finished 19th nationally in scoring offense. Rees' offenses have been known for balance and strong development at the offensive line at tight end positions. We are going to get into that on the tight end position because I'm telling you right now, I don't want to jinx it just yet, but maybe Alabama becomes a little bit of tight end you right now. We're not going to go yet. We still got a ways to go here. The move marks a shift away from Notre Dame for Rees, who played quarterback from there from 2010 to 2014 and spent 10 total seasons with the Irish. In between, he spent time with the Chargers and worked for a staff that included current Eagles coach Nick Sirianni, who was the quarterback's coach. And again, Nick Sirianni wasn't the offensive coordinator. He wasn't necessarily working under him, but he was working with him. Alabama, 11-2, finished the season number 5 in the country last season, but there will be questions lingering this season about Crimson Tide's offense with the departure of the potential number 1 pick, Bryce Young, and an unproven group of wide receivers. The South Bend Tribune first reported Rees' departure. And we see that list of former offensive coordinators under Nick Saban here. So again, Nick Saban has his own page. It says Alabama Crimson Tide under Nick Saban. It's actually crazy to see this. But he joins, we got Major Applewhite, who's former head coach, Lane Kiffin, current head coach, Jim McElwain, current head coach, Doug Musmeyer, former head coach, Brian Dable, current head coach in the NFL, Mike Loxley, current head coach for Maryland, Bill O'Brien's going to current offensive coordinator for the Patriots. You can tell that, again, there's a lot of guys in there, but there's a lot of extremely accomplished guys because Nick Saban only brings the people he believes in. He believes in Tommy Rees. So what do we know about this guy, Tommy Rees? And again, I want to make sure I'm clear about this. He is taking over the most scrutinized coordinator in college football right now because you generally know the defense, Nick Saban's going to have the defense under control. This is Alabama. Alabama, the last 5 recruiting classes have been number 1 or number 2. Whoever takes over this role. Again, if it's not number 1 or 2 offense, you're going to be like, something's going on here. He's making our team worse. I get that's a simple way of looking at it. But let's go into Tommy Rees because I'm telling you right now, if you're anybody out there It was like, we need a guy that knows Alabama. We got to knows Alabama. Tommy Rees doesn't know Alabama. He doesn't know Alabama. He doesn't know Louisiana. He doesn't know Florida. He doesn't know Georgia. Okay, he is from the Great Lakes region, or he's from Southern California. We come over to Tommy Rees, and again, like I said, born in L.A., went to high school in Lake Forest, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. Went to Notre Dame, again, both right next to Lake Michigan, and then he coached. Okay, so let's be clear here. Okay, he was at the Washington Redskins for a little bit. That's Virginia. That's kind of I don't know. But then Northwestern, Chicago, San Diego Chargers, Notre Dame, Alabama. So this is his first time living in the South per se. But he's very accomplished, did well with Notre Dame out there. And, I'm telling you right now, he is, if Nick Saban believes in him, he's one of the top rising stars. I think it's safe to say he's going to do a good job too, considering the fact of what he has to work with. So I want to make sure that we're clear about this. When we see Alabama football commits, and again, I'm not sure if this is offense or defense. This is just composite, but this is the number one overall recruiting class. Okay, and like I said before, this is 2023, 22, 21, 20, and 19. We're 1 or 2. So there's no real excuses for Tommy Rees. Okay, again, some of them might be more on defense or offense, but this guy has got plenty of talent to work with. And I'm going to go into a lot of the situations with the players leaving because there are a lot of players that left and there's a lot of players that come in. However, I want to talk about first some of the players that a lot of the Senior Bowl, players felt like are noticeable guys that are coming back this next season. This is a really good article here because I'll let you know it's kind of difficult to gauge who was starting, who wasn't, especially offensive line, who played well, who didn't. But I know that this is a good estimate here. You talk to the players, see what they think is going really well for them. And they had a couple players they wanted to bring up. First one was J.C. Latham. Okay, J.C. Latham is a former current offensive lineman there, but they say they expect big things out of him. I think J.C. Latham is a guy everyone needs to watch for. A lot of fans and stuff probably won't see him, but scouts will. It will be a seamless transition for him from right tackle to left tackle. That guy, he's capable of playing both left and right tackle at a very high level. It's probably going to be no problem for him. So J.C. Latham, offensive tackle. We also see a couple guys over here. Isaiah Bond was mentioned as a receiver. We see a couple more here. Apparently next year, the running back situation is going to be great. Jamarion Miller, Justice Haynes, recruit that's coming in. The running back room is going to be absolutely loaded for the Crimson Tide. That is one good thing. And again, Tommy Rees coming in, coaching, and former quarterback, coaching quarterbacks, this and that, always helps out if you've got big guys up front and you can just blow people off the ball with running backs. So a couple things there. A couple other names that were mentioned, offensive lineman Tyler Booker, receivers Ja'Cory Brooks and Kobe Pretense. So there's a couple things there. I'm telling you, they've got some assets to work with. Now, I made this list here because I wanted to make sure we could set the precedent. So that right there was a couple of players to look out for. We will mention a couple of them later on in this video, but I wanted to make sure I go over kind of a list of what's going on here. So I looked at the offensive losses, and the offensive losses are pretty stout. Don't get me wrong. Tommy Rees is going to have somewhat of an emptier cupboard than it was before. I mean, Bryce Young's probably going to be the number one pick. You can get better than that, but I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult too. So, Bryce Young, NFL draft, and Tyler Steen, offensive lineman, Emil Ekiyor, offensive lineman, Cameron Latu, tight end, Jahmyr Gibbs, running back. So all those guys are going to the NFL. And then we have some of these transfers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 receiver transfers, 3-star, 4-star, 4-star, 3-star, 4-star. So you lose some good talent there. We see Jacoby Boykins, Trayshawn Holden, Christian Leary, JoJo Earl, Aaron Anderson, and Tyler Harrell. And then we see a couple of these guys over here with the Tommy Brockermeyer, Damian George, and Amari Kite. 3 tackles, 4-star, 3-star, and 4-star. Javion Cohen and Tanner Bowles, interior offensive lineman, 2 4-stars. And then Trey Sanders, a running back, a former 3-star. Now, those are the offensive losses from the portal, the NFL draft, and so on. We come over here to the additions. These additions are pretty nice over here, okay? So C.J. Dipre, I hope I said that name right, tight end transfer from Maryland, 4-star, kind of a 2-4-7 ranking there. Ty Lockwood was a 4-star tight end, number 15 in the country as a recruit. And then we see a couple of really good ones. So we see Justice Haynes was already mentioned. He is the number 2 running back in the country. Richard Young, number 4 running back in the country. Jalen Hale, number 6 receiver in the country. Jaron Hamilton, number 35, and number 42 in Cole Adams, 2 4-star commits. Malik Benson, the number 1 JUCO overall player, not just receiver, just the best junior college player in the country, going to Alabama. Look for big things out of him. We've got Wilkin Formby, number 8 offensive tackle. We have Caden Proctor from Des Moines, Iowa, committed to Iowa, decided the number 9 overall player, 5-star number 1 offensive tackle, decides to go to Alabama. Look out for him. And then we've got Miles McVay, number 16 offensive tackle. Ole Alinen, hopefully I said that right, number 14 offensive tackle. And then we've got Raquez McElderry, number 25 interior offensive lineman. And then very interesting down here, we have 4 quarterbacks that are going to be on Alabama next year. Eli Holstein, number 8 QB, Dylan Lonergan, number 13 QB, and then these next group of guys. These are the additions. So these guys that weren't there last year, now they're going to be there this year. And then we see offensive returners. And again, this is not exhaustive. I'm sure I'm going to miss some guys who played significant time here and there, but this is a good group here. So J.C. Latham, he was possible a tackle, but he might switch from right tackle to left tackle. Eli Pritchett, a former 4-star. Tyler Booker was mentioned, 6'5", 332. Running back Jamarion Miller, really good in practices. Jason McKellen, Roydale Williams, both former 4-stars. Jermaine Burton, top receiver in 2022 in yards. Isaiah Bond says that, Bryce Young says that Isaiah Bond is a wide receiver, a player to watch. Ja'Cory Brooks, former 5-star player. Kobe Pretense, former 4-star player. Robbie Outzes, hopefully I said that right, 4 catches in 2022. He's a tight end. And again, we'll talk about tight ends in a second here. Very interesting, these last two. So Ty Simpson, former 5-star quarterback, really, really strong arm. If you watch him out there, I watched some of his highlights in high school, and he's just absolutely got an absolute howitzer. Not as fast per se, but can run. And then Jalen Milroe. Now, Jalen Milroe was the guy that they put in the game if they needed to do well. He came in against Arkansas and first of all, Jalen Milroe can fly. Okay, so it's absolutely ridiculous to see that. He was their second leading passer. I'm interested to see what Tommy Rees does with both of those two, because is he going to adopt more of a drop-back passing game, maybe a Ty Simpson offense? Is he going to put Jalen Milroe in there, have all those running backs run a little bit more, read option, veer, RPO, something like that? I don't know. I do know that I have an idea of what Tommy Rees might do at Alabama, and I'm telling you right now, it could potentially be awesome. So remember here, from 2010 till 2013, and then 2017 up until last season, this is when that's Tommy Rees' time at Notre Dame. So we see that 2010 to 2013, he played with Kyle Rudolph, he played with Tyler Eifert, and he probably played a little bit with Troy Nicholas, maybe practiced with Ben Koyak. And then when he was coaching there, coached with Durham Smythe, Elise Mack, Cole Kmet, Tommy Tremble, and then Michael Mayer this last year. I'm really interested. And again, you saw the fact that they brought in a tight end transfer from Maryland, brought in a 4-star tight end as well. They got a tight end who was returning. And again, Cameron Lottie was no longer there. But it's one of those things where, what if that's the situation here? That you got good running backs, have some solid receivers. Maybe they go to more of a couple tight ends, things like that. I'd be interesting to see. Could we potentially see Alabama is tight end U, the new tight end U? I don't know. So Tommy Rees, like I said, taking over the most scrutinized position in college football, just because the defense is going to be loaded. The defense is going to have a lot out there. However, offensively, Bill O'Brien, very, very well-respected offensive, mind. Maybe not the best in terms of free agency and general manager with the stuff he did with the Texans, but he is a very, very well-respected offensive mind. Tommy Rees is now going to step into that role. If they don't pick up 40, 50 points a game, the talent is there. They got plenty of talent. And again, do you want to go with Milroe? Do you want to have drop-back passer? What do you want to do there? I do think I'm interested to see what he does with the tight ends. I think that's something we should watch for this next season. But I'm telling you, if Nick Saban believes in him, I believe in him too. That right there, it's appeal to authority. But I feel pretty confident with that one. You guys, Alabama fans, get in the comments right now. What do you think about the addition of Tommy Rees? Get in the comments right now and let me know. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Do all that stuff. I appreciate it. That's it for me, guys. I'll see you guys later. I am out.